Always good. Chief Baseball Officer Tony La Russa here with us in our booth. Thanks for being here. How are you?
Down 1-0.
I feel silly for asking you that question because you always have the same answer, which is.
I was taught early enough that it's a very simple life. It's our team against their team. There's a score. So early in the day, you don't know how it's going to go, so you don't know. And as you go along, right now we're down a run, which is an improvement after last night, which we're not talking about. I'm sure.
During the commercial break, we were talking about Socrates Brito. Wow, he's making a pretty good impression here, isn't he?
Well, he's coming fast. I can remember there was discussions last winter about whether he should be protected or not. And
wow,
his talent was so big that we decided not to take a chance. And I give Dave Stewart and Mike Bell a lot of credit because they really believed in him. But well, you know, when a guy starts to come and he starts to get it, it's fun to watch.
Colin McHugh leads off the third. The quote that you made at the beginning of this year, Tony, was you would be heartbroken if the Diamondbacks didn't finish with a winning record, and people have sort of been on that watch all year long. We're going to come under just shy of that. So how do you feel about where things are right now?
Well, I'm disappointed because I really think that you know, a little better execution, saving some runs, making some extra runs. I really think that you know, if you add 6 wins to our record and subtract 6 losses, you know, I think we played good enough. But I'm disappointed but not discouraged, and I think that's a good way to answer it. I think with the newness, I think we got a lot of important at bats. So the way I prefer to say it now when I answer, I mean, I made a mistake, you know, and I.
Well, no, I mean, you were honest.
Yeah, that's right. I thought we could. I thought we could, but you know, we're either going to improve by 14 wins, 15 wins, or 16 wins, and that's the half-full idea. But I think our club has made an impression that we're on the right track.
Well, I was talking to A.J. Pollock around the batting cage yesterday, and you know, we travel around the league, and all the opposing broadcasters come over at the end of the series and say, man, you guys really play the game hard. You guys run everything out, regardless of the score, regardless of what inning it is. Everybody's busting their tail, and A.J. said that's nice to hear. You know, he said we don't really get that kind of feedback down on the field from opposing teams, and I thought it was kind of interesting that he was very impressed by that, but he's impressed a lot of people around the game along with his teammates.
I do believe, Bob, that is a real special mark for this club. The respect that they've gotten from their peers is very, very important, and you can definitely build on that. I mean, that's an effort thing, you know. That's frame of mind, which shows how tough they can be. But the thought going forward is that you want to build on that. You know, that's a good first impression, and now that's not something we can back off of. And not with this group, I'm sure that won't happen.
What about this season, Tony, has pleased you most with the way your ball club has played?
I think that a lot of the basics. I mean, if you've got talent, the game is really going to be decided by the execution. I think defensively and base running are real strengths of this team day in and day out. I do believe that if you take certain situations that we can improve dramatically. One of them is obvious. You know, our strikeout total is really, really high. Mm-hmm. And the way we were taught, a lot of these hitting situations, supposedly, if you put the ball in play, you got a chance. You strike out, you got no chance. So that's one area that I'm sure we'll work on. And I know Turner and Mark are dedicated. The hitters will be. Once we put the ball in play, better things will happen.
Jake Lamb at third. Throw it Altuve. Speaking of Jake Lamb, opportune time to talk about him, I guess. It's a crowded infield picture, isn't it? Is that going to be a point of discussion in the offseason?
Right fielder.
I always think that healthy competition is really good for a ball club. You know, in Jake's case, I think his defense has been above average. His production is down. I think there's a couple of things you can see in just his approach that he can improve on and take advantage of how strong he is. But what's going to happen is that the competition is going to make the fun part. I mean, guys are going to be really working hard for playing time. Maybe not so much in the outfield, but in the infield, except for first base. And if you're a competitor, which I'm sure we have, in fact, your TV's on Nick Ahmed right now. I mean, you know, he has demonstrated a Gold Glove plus. And he's another guy, you know, with a couple of adjustments. I mean, he could be a 275 hitter, and he would be a humongous asset if he got on base more. He's a winner, that young man. He's a leader. He's tough. But, you know, he probably pulls the ball a little too much. There's too many balls in the air. That stuff he can work on.
You always make the comparison to one of your old White Sox teams, the '83 White Sox, that exciting club. A nice mix of veteran guys and a lot of young guys as well. Seems like the same mix is here this year.
I agree. I think that's very healthy. The other thing is somebody pointed out to me, I really didn't think about it until we had our development meetings. Although they may be young in the big leagues, a lot of these guys have come up in the minor leagues together. So they're veteran teammates, and they've won together. The guys that have been introduced, you know, an Inciardi and a Peralta after last year, I mean, they're fitting right in. And our veterans, you know, a guy like Castillo has come along and been a real champ. So I think, you know, and I'm sure Bob agrees with you too. So there's some people that really do not give chemistry and that family feeling much credit, but it is absolutely critical, especially as long as our season is.
Oh yeah, when you're around a team 162, you realize how critical it is, Bob. It's not simply analytics or numbers.
All right. And I'll tell you, Tony, one thing that's been impressive for me, you know, watching up here on the monitors, and occasionally we'll get the close shots of a guy's face, is how poised and how calm some of these young guys are. Brandon Drury has looked very comfortable at the plate in his short time here in the big league. Socrates Brito, another guy that, not in a cocky way, but you can almost see in his face that he feels like he belongs here.
Well, I can't agree with you more, and I think that is a tribute to what we do down in development. I remember coming in last year, mid-year, checking the minor leagues out. I had no previous conception of yay, nay, or whatever, and I observed, you know, Mike Bell. He's got a crew of managers, coordinators. They really teach the right thing, and they teach, you know, aggressiveness, but under control, and play the game correctly, and play with a lot of spirit. I mean, you look at this Astros ball club. Some of these young guys that come up, you know, they got that same look to them. Well, I mean, they're going to play in October, and our guys, I don't think, are very far away from that either.
Well, this guy sure has that look. Carlos Correa, just 21.
Oh man, it's 21 going on 31 because he plays. How about that? I told Andy. You know, Andy knew the scouting report, but still, look, I was yelling, send him that first day, and he throws that rocket from on that relay. I mean, his talent is just off the chart.
Yeah, the play that Goldie was throwing out on last night, a terrific relay from Correa.
Well, I just hope we don't see more of that talent the next 2 days.
Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Save it for the postseason.
Well, you've been in the situation that A.J. Hinch is in right now. They've got to have this game, especially considering the way the Angels came back and won at Texas today. What's it like to play in the final weekend of the year in this situation?
Most fun you can have. October is more fun, but to play get to the last week and be in contention, get to the last week, and it just keeps getting better and better. I do believe. Here's a 2 for nickel piece of observation. I do believe that the teams that have to get to the last weekend, they are better suited to playing in October. If you win too early, it's nice to win early, but I think that competitive edge that you are required to have carries over.
Always great to have him with us. The Hall of Famer, the Chief Baseball Officer, Tony La Russa. Tony, thank you.
Anytime, Steve.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.